How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to the Crypto ZX channel. Happy Monday, wherever you are around the world. I am bringing you guys an update on Mantra. And we're going to take a look at, what's really happening and, what my personal thoughts are as of now. We have seen, a couple hours go by now. It's been about a day since, this massive, retracement happened. One of the largest, and again, this is coming from someone that has been in this crypto market for the last 8 years. This by far is one of the biggest, pullbacks that I have seen for an asset that was sitting at crazy valuations. But let's really, dig deep and take a look at, what's really happening for the price and, what I have heard as of now and what my personal thoughts are. At the end of the day, everyone has their own right to their own opinion. So, we all need to respect everyone's opinion. And you guys know I'm 100% unbiased. And I'm going to share my personal thoughts. So, Mantra, of course, down 90.6%, still showing, within the top 100. This coin is not even in the top 100 anymore, with the price now sitting at 58 cents. And just over the course of the last few hours, as of recording this update, you have seen Mantra falling down almost $400 million. And I will explain what I mean by that. But before we get into it, as always, just a quick disclaimer for you guys. Anything on this channel is not financial advice. It's always important to do your own due diligence and research when you are investing into cryptocurrencies. I'm just sharing my personal opinion as to, what I think is happening. I feel extremely sorry for anyone that has been impacted. I would obviously not want anyone to go through, what is happening, with Mantra. But again, guys, let this be a learning lesson. I've said this 1,000 times and I'll say it again. Let this be a learning lesson, especially if you're new to the markets. Never just go all in on one coin. That's tip number one. And number two, of course, diversify your portfolio. Sorry, guys, I'm still under the weather, so, apologies on that. Diversification is key. Obviously, it minimizes risk, and that is why it's so important to do so. But market cap is at 563 million, and the 24-hour trading volume at about $2.3 billion. In terms of investors' confidence right now, obviously it's at rock bottom. No one is paying attention. People are calling this Luna Part 2. And some are even out saying that, this is a signal to the start of the bear market. Is that really going to be the case? We'll see what happens. As of now, you did see the CEO come out and, hop on this call with Cointelegraph. You guys can see, collapse, rug pull, or market panic. Mantra team response. And from what I've gotten to take away from this video is, mainly, this happened, that happened, liquidations happen, etc., etc. But what are they going to do to make this better for the holders? Like, we don't have those answers still. And again, if there is a centralized exchange that they think, caused this, why in the world is it taking the Mantra team so long to come and, give us more information as to which exchange and, that exchange to come out and, offer some, clarity? Because right now, no one, seems to be caring about, what could have happened, what type of liquidation. We need more clear answers. And of course, red flags are definitely there at this point. Obviously, after 24 hours, that's more than enough time, honestly, to gather and at least provide more clarity. Yes, we understand, liquidations occurred, but we need to know, which exchange. And, obviously, we need those exchanges to come on board and give their, feedback. And, most importantly, how can they prevent this from happening in the future? And, how can other projects learn, from this? So, it doesn't happen to those projects. A lot of people, I've gotten to talk to, some people, and obviously I read, people's feedback. People are saying that due to the fact that, Mantra had VCs, that has caused, such a major drop. And, having VCs, behind a project is not always a good thing. And most of the time, it goes wrong way because these VCs are just in for, the capital, and they don't really care how it impacts a broader, coin. And, I can think of hundreds of different examples of where, VCs are, involved if you've been in the space for a long time, I'm sure you guys know about a lot of different projects. Usually tokenomics are garbage at the beginning, and even if the tokenomics are not garbage, these VCs, quote unquote, have vested, chunk of money, which of course, after a couple of years they can unlock. So could that have been the case with Mantra? Possibly, but like I said, there needs to be more clear answers. But at this point, guys, I've been seeing so many comments coming in. Oh, this is going to be the craziest bounce ever. The people that are already holding this, obviously, the ones that were holding it prior to this crash, I hope, a miracle happens. But anyone that's touching this at this point is gambling, pure gambling. And of course, you need to understand the risks associated to that. Like people are obviously wanting to get, make a quick buck here and there, but that's pure gambling. Obviously, that's up to you. You guys make your own call. I'm not here to make those calls for you, but I would not touch a coin, with this type of drop, after, what has happened and, what the market is saying, just to be on the safe side. And over the last few hours, just take a look at what happened, guys. So obviously we did see this, little bit of a bounce, of course, going up to the likes of the $1.36. Anyone that caught this, did end up making a quick buck of like about 275%. But look where the price is at right now. So from that price point, it fell down another 60%. And at the rate things are going, even though the market did see a little bit of a bounce today in the positive, you can see this for yourself. Majority of the coins are going back into the green. You still are seeing, Mantra pulling down. And, there's some investors that are just obviously done with this. So they don't really want to deal with this. And maybe other, big players or, market manipulation. And of course, futures platform, all the people that are piling up saying, oh, we're going to see a major reversal. This is where the whales are stepping in and just shaking out all these, longs that are piling in. And you can see this for yourself. The price has, plummeted even more. So again, I would say be very cautious. My heart goes out to, the people that are obviously involved in this. Like I said, I hope there is more clarity as of now. One thing I can, again, I'm very unbiased and I try my best to, be fair, because, that is what the main point of being unbiased is. But, one thing I can give Mantra, team as of now, aside from, what has happened, I think, there's more clarity that needs to be provided. But the fact that, they have still, communicated and just not gone ghost mode. They're still communicating, still going on these podcasts. I'll give that to them, but more clarity, because, we're talking about a lot of investors, a lot of, people that have a lot of money tied into this. And, of course, this is just absolutely unfair to them. So I'll keep you guys covered. Let me know down below what you guys think. Like I said, guys, be very cautious, very, very cautious. Understand what has happened. It's not as easy as you get in and the price is back up to $10, $20. That's not how it works. If it did, then I'm sure everyone would be doing it. But let me know down below what you guys think. What are your personal thoughts on this? We'll see you later. I'll keep you guys updated on this. We'll see you later. It's been Crypto ZX and peace.